Hi, I'm just starting this one on what we will miss.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. And the year 6009 will be the very first year since 1961 that a year, when written in Hindu Arabic numerals, can be inverted and still look the same.
Mira.
But you and I probably won't live long enough to enjoy the year 6009. Human lives just aren't long enough. We will miss out on that. What other cool future events will we be missing? Well, first of all, you and I will probably be gone before the completion of the Time Pyramid in Winding, Germany. It will eventually be a pile of 120 concrete blocks, but the builders are only adding one block every 10 years. Since beginning in 1993, they've added only the first 3. At this rate, the pyramid will be completed in the year 3183. The final
So perfect year to watch this because this year is the next block, 2023.
block placed by our great, 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 more than 30 greats grandchildren. But even they will miss an opportunity to frolic and play safely in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, the zone of alienation, where radioactive contamination from the 1986 disaster will remain at levels too high for safe human activity until not the year 4000, not the 5000s, not the 6000s. It will finally be safe probably in the year 22,000.
I remember watching a documentary of a photographer who goes to the abandoned towns around Chernobyl every year. And he did that from the 90s to the 2000s. I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but he would document the slow deterioration of the belongings that people left there. So he would take a picture of the same theater, and nothing was out of place from one year to another. It was just a little bit dustier, a little bit more worn by the elements. I'm going to try to find that for you. Now, I'm not sure if it was a documentary or just a video, but if not, I'm sure his photographs are online, so I'll make sure to link those in the bio.
Possibly within our lifetimes, but definitely within the next 1 million years, stars like Betelgeuse and Eta Carina will explode in brilliant supernovas visible from Earth. I'm bummed I'm probably going to miss out on these events because for a few weeks it will look almost as if Earth has 2 suns. Despite being hundreds, thousands of light years away, their supernovas will shine brighter than the full moon at night and be visible even during daytime. But the real sky show comes in 3.75 billion years. Our galaxy is full of stars. Viewed from the surface of the Earth, they look like little drops of milk in the sky, which is why we call it the Milky Way galaxy. But all galaxies are named after milk. Milk, lactose, lactic, galactic, galaxies. And every drop of milk
There's a story in Greek and Roman mythology. This one's Greek because it's Heracles, not Hercules. That Hera was nursing Hercules and she pushes him off, and the milk that spills out is what creates the Milky Way. And then there's other variations of that story, one with Athena, one with Hermes. You guys into mythology or?
the sky, every star that you can see is inside our galaxy, the Milky Way. But there's a blurry, distant shape, this one. It's not a star, it's not a cloud of gas in our galaxy, it is an entirely different galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy, and it's 2.5 million light years away from our own. It contains twice as many stars as the Milky Way, and it is coming our way, headed toward us at 300 kilometers a second, faster than a bullet. Now, right now, the sky looks like this. In 2 billion years, Andromeda will have approached so closely that people will look up at the sky and see this. In 3.75 billion years, the night sky will be like a scene from a science fiction movie or an awesome desktop wallpaper. Incredible. And kind of scary After this scene, the sky will literally be glowing with the birth of new stars as the Milky Way and Andromeda collide, mixing up into a brilliant cosmic tie-dye. This simulation shows how Andromeda might collide with the Milky Way, but keep in mind that you are watching billions of years pass every second. These galaxies are moving fast, but they're also huge and covering even huger distances. They will collide in the future, but within the briefness of a single human life, they appear almost frozen, unmoving. A couple billion years after colliding, the cores of both galaxies will be married together in a bright glowing center. Earth, now a stepchild to what was once Andromeda, part of a new, bigger family called Milkdromeda. It would be so cool to be alive to see our galaxy colliding with another. But don't get all FOMO, consumed by a fear of missing out. Because whatever life is around then will have plenty to envy us for. They may have spectacular nightly views, but secretly wish they'd been born in our time to experience, say, the beginning of the internet. They will actually miss out on a lot of things. Because the moon moves 1 centimeter further away from Earth every year, 600 million years from today, the moon will no longer be close enough to Earth to completely block out the sun. Future humans, or descendants of humans, will therefore miss out on a chance to ever see for themselves the beauty of a total solar eclipse from the surface of Earth. Long before Earth dries up, Niagara Falls will dry up. Well, not the water part, but the falls part. Every year, the rushing water of Niagara erodes the rock at the top of the falls 1 foot backward. By the year 52,000, it will have eroded all the way to Lake Erie, and our progeny will have no Niagara Falls to enjoy. Granite has an erosion rate of about 1 inch per 10,000 years. So certainly by the year 7 million, Mount Rushmore, especially its faces, will no longer exist. And because they slowly get pulled in or ejected into space, in 50 to 100 million years, Saturn will no longer have its lovely rings. So life on Earth in the future might have awesome supernovas and galactic collisions to look forward to,
That's a cool
but
one.
they probably won't have Niagara Falls, Mount Rushmore, total solar eclipses, or Saturn's rings. They also won't have you. But you have you. Except not all of it. Babies don't begin to form episodic memories right away, meaning that you missed out on. You don't remember 2 of the most seminal events in your life, your conception and your birth. But you can experience a bit of those moments right now. First of all, when was I conceived.com lets you enter your birth date and get back the week your parents probably made you happen, as well as the #1 song and the #1 movie of that week, which may have also been involved.
This website looks like something you would create on freecodecamp.com, if you know what that is, or Codecademy, just level 1 basic HTML and CSS. But this video is 9 years old, so now I want to see if it's still up, because I need to know when I was conceived.
Light travels quickly, the most quickest in fact, but it can take a photon millions of years to escape from the interior of the star it was created in through nuclear fusion. It takes time, just like your own gestation in your mother's womb. Newly conceived photons struggle through a dense stellar jungle of atoms and molecules and electrons that absorb and re-emit the photon, taking a little bit of energy from it as it randomly rolls around like a pinball. Sometimes after thousands or millions of years, its random walk finally leads it to the star's surface, where it pops out into space, in a way, is born. A lucky tiny percentage of the photons that reach the surface of a star find themselves on a path that will intersect with Earth. And if you are lucky, those photons will end their journey by being absorbed onto your own retina. If you enter the date of your birth or the approximate date of your conception into this online calculator, you can find a star that is as many light years away from Earth as you are old. When you look up at that star today, you are seeing light that left the star the very month you were born, or photons that left that star and entered space when your entire body was just one cell. Space is really big and your life is very short, but space is so gosh darn big, you don't have to miss out on everything. And as always, thanks for watching.
I see why that one was so heavily recommended to me, and am I weird for finding the end of that very wholesome? This was the second Vsauce video I've seen. The first was on color and perception. This one was a lot different, and I like the range. And I said before, he's a very clear communicator, which I appreciate. But this one led to more positive thoughts of existentialism for me. And I did learn a lot about upcoming universal events, Earth events. But personally, I'm not too interested in what I'll miss after I die, at least not enough to want to live forever. That's not to say that I'm not interested in speaking about the future events that he presented here or considering them later, because I definitely will, right after I read about Andromeda. But I wouldn't want immortality if it were a possibility. And when he made a really good point about FOMO, that for me was an important part of the video because it made me think, yes, we have already missed so much. And future generations are going to miss what's happening now, and we're going to miss what's happening in the future, but that's life. And death, I guess. And that is all assuming that humanity is going to remain in the same parameters that we know it to be now in the future. Because it is possible that we find a way to prolong life, just as it's possible that the Earth ceases to exist from some event that none of us have considered yet, or it starts over. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, let me know if you'd want to live forever if you could. And for the case of this hypothetical, let's just assume that we already have the issue of resources figured out and the possible issue of overpopulation as well, and anything else that could become a problem if a mass amount of people decide to live for longer than we expect them to while continuing to procreate, reproduce. I just mixed those two words together. Anyway, you know what else I was thinking about? Walt Disney frozen somewhere, just hoping that we do sort out this immortality problem. I don't know if that's actually true that he is cryogenically frozen somewhere or if that's just a rumor. But I don't have a literary recommendation for you today. While he was speaking, I was trying to think of a book that has anything to do with anything he was speaking of. No subjects really came to mind that I haven't already recommended before. So if you have a book in your mind, let us know, or maybe you're reading something interesting now, please share. And other than that, that's all I've got. So leave your thoughts on any of it, and thanks for watching with me.